my personal genealogic line, my family history, I see it as a vibration. I see it as a continuous wave moving further and further through time. And I see it also as a wave passing through different persons, through different lives, through different times of history. So it is a movement, yes, a movement, and I imagine it always as a wave, like different waves coming, and they can be strong or less strong, they can have different speed, and they approach me, they touch the surface, they enter through the surface in my body, they pass my body and they leave. And for this moment where they touch and pass me, they take me with them on their own rhythm and own movement. You could say for a moment I'm a vibration. Memory regarding my own genealogy, my own family history, it is a kind of getting into contact to this specific vibration. What I imagine and believe is that every cell of my body must have memory capacity, that also part of my genealogic past, my genealogic memory, is also there. And then for sure it must be a difference to know that a certain person is part of your own family. So you know this person is also part of a certain line and you are part as well. This connects very deeply to the people having lived beforehand but being part of your family. And a part of my history is first my grandmother Ruth, and second my grand aunt Erna Morena. I didn't share a lot of time with them. I perceived them as a very strong personality. They were both two people who I could connect to the quality of silence, both in a different way. Yeah, they are in a kind of very extreme situations. The one because of their own constitution, and the other one because she had chosen to work in this field. And Erna I never met because she died before I was born. I only know her because of stories and photos and people talking about her. So the imagination or this personality grow in my head because of things other people told me about her. All those details I heard about her came up in my mind. Made her very much alive for me. She worked in the silent film and she was communicating on a non-verbal level in her own profession. She had to sharpen her way how to move and how to express on the level of body only. My grandmother was deaf, became deaf when she was 7, and she became a writer and a sculptress. The few meetings that I can remember, they really had a very big impact on myself. As a child, I was quite attracted and fascinated by the fact that my grandmother must perceive something different than me that I couldn't know. So it's really the physical contact and the warm-hearted way she embraced me, for example. I can really still, if I close my eyes, I can still feel her, the pressure of her hand, or the warmth of her hand, or the shape of her hand. Those two people especially colored my life and my personality, how I am today, passing through me in a way. That I seem to go on a way where words, they don't have the priority, but it's more an expression on a different level. It's a non-verbal. I feel very much connected to them because of silence and because of my appreciation of silence but also my appreciation for sound and music, like perceiving with my body and not so much on auditive verbal level. It's very strange. I mean, if I think of my grandmother, immediately I perceive sound much more intensively. Scherenschnitt, and it's you had a beer or you had a little scissor, and she was miracle nymph, sunflowers. Tell you a fairy tale and scissor. Create an animal out of the paper. Just take the scissor. If you open the door, something magic. Those pictures, they were smell. There's still the smell. The house of a cellar. It was dark and a little bit humid. Old stuff, and entering a magic. A lot of letters and paper and books. Box with some chocolate and so on. Yeah, being in a kind of chateau, looking for some treasure. Looking at trees, different rooms had a kind of secret quality. She really loved cats with those long skirts, big black cat. Her kitchen, she didn't cook. To put papers or letters or books on the table. A yellow canary bird, whose name was Fintan, and this bird singing, recognized even as a child that my grandmother couldn't hear that. The house, I had this round table in this small saloon, and hearing the different clocks tick, tick, tick. In Munich, in this Renatastraat, and then you have two fences, corridor, where there are little stones. So you had to ring the bell, could hear really every step, and it was quite slow, a little bit heavy rhythm, and she would appear. And I hear also the kruk of the door, the first fence she would open, and then she would come. It's a kind of suspension. That's what I experience if I really close my ears for a very long time. It's a kind of time suspension for me. And actually, there is no silence, because you can also, I mean, there doesn't exist any silence. And if you don't hear sound, your body gets vibrations. I like a lot the word Stille in German because of its sound, and I have also the same like silence and Stille. Stille, there is a kind of cloud going out. It's very soft from my perception. It's Stille. Silence is giving space to make appear things. And if there is no silence, things can't appear. You can't identify. It's all full. If we have one event, silence, another event, and it's a space in between also. Me personally, if there's too much sound around, I feel that my space is killed. I think this is also one reason why silence can make things very strong. I wanted to test whether can I manage to be deaf so that I can't hear myself, which is impossible. I would close my ears as hard as I could, and then I would sing very loudly. And I didn't arrive to do that. And so it kept a kind of secret for myself, a kind of mystery how it would be to be deaf. Those memories are not only in my brain or in the cells of my brain, that they are in the body, in every cell of my body. I mean, if I remember my grandmother, for example, I have kinesthetic memory of that. And for me, those memories are too complex and too total to be only fixed in my brain. I have physical experience of that. It's not only an idea or it's not an abstract image. And so it's Bettina as a whole being remembering. Me being Bettina, me being Bettina, and Bettina as a personality, but that I also carry inside of myself some history, and whether this is conscious or not. My development or my travel or journey to become a human being is not only based on what I am or what I carry with me as capacities, but it's also supported or colored and guided by family people like Ruth or Erna. Perhaps it's a continuous world, a space that has not so much borders, less rhythm. And actually for me, silence doesn't exist. It's a relative silence. And silence is also, it's a quality that giving birth to things. For Erna, it's freedom. And for Ruth, it's the home, her home. And for me, it is being alive. It could be that after a long silence, or I'm in a situation with silence, afterwards I feel refreshed in a way.